VHS 2, it's an anthology film with 4 found footage film and one other that really it's just people just going in. It's like they're trying to find the student that's been missing. They're they're infiltrating his house for information to where he's been. And they find these 4 videotapes that the guy has watched, and they watch him to experience what made him like this, and that's basically the whole concept of VHS 2. You basically watch uh, those four tapes, and it's basically take off from there. And honestly, I enjoyed VHS 2 more than VHS 1. It's more intense. It even has more comedic elements to it, which was one of my major gripes of the first VHS, because it was all dark and gloomy. It didn't really have that much of humor, except for the first film with the succubus. But anyways, let's go to the what each found footage tapes are about. The first one is about a guy who gets an eye implant after a car accident, and he sees all these weird things. I didn't really like this one, but it was entertaining at the least. The reason why I didn't really like it that much because it kind of relied mostly on jump scares. But other than that, it was executed pretty well. And out of 5, I would actually kind of give it a 3. Um, the second one is actually from a GoPro and on a biker, and then he turns into a zombie. It's basically all that from there and how it goes down. This one was actually one of my favorites of the movie, basically because it was executed very well. The pacing was just right, and it was probably one of the best ones, other than the fourth one, which I'll get to later when I talk about it. And and honestly, yeah, I can watch this one over and over again. And this one had me on the edge. It was very intense. Now the third one is called Safe Haven, and now a lot of people like this one, and a lot of people don't really like it. Um, I kind of like this one better than the first one, but it's not better than the fourth or the second one. Now, the reason why it's like uh, this really has a lot of build up to it. Like there's nothing really going on until the end, but when the end happens, you're like, oh, this is pretty terrifying. But then they go a direction that it actually kind of lost me towards the end of the second film, and that's why I really didn't like the third one as much as I wanted to, mainly because the direction it went towards at the end, which really took me out of it. Now the fourth one, which is called Slumber Party Alien Invasion. This was actually one of my favorites. It's actually a GoPro on a dog, and really, this one actually made horror movies scary again. The only minor gripe is really it kind of just happens. There's no build up and no hints on what's going to happen. It really just happens. I suppose like there's spoiler, but not really spoiler. Like um when they're underwater trying to prank the elder people, you actually kind of get a glimpse of one of the aliens for like a small bit, then just kind of disappeared. So that's the only really build up that it has. But that's not really a spoiler, so you can still go into it expecting. Other than that, I absolutely loved VHS 2 more than I liked VHS 1. It's definitely a great horror movie. Get a bunch of friends around and watch it because it's definitely worth a watch if you're a major horror movie fan. Now, I will say this: if you do not like disturbing imagery, this movie is not for you because there's a lot of disturbing imagery in this one. More disturbing than the first one. If you've seen the first one and you thought that was a little too disturbing, then you won't like VHS 2 for how disturbing it is. Now, even though VHS 1 had a guy's junk thrown at the screen, um, yeah, that was a weird part in the movie. But yeah, out of 10, mainly because the only problems I really have is the pacing issues and the direction that the third one went towards the end. I would really give VHS 2 an 8 out of 10. Now, if you've seen VHS 2, I really want to know what you thought of it, and basically, I want to hear your own opinion in the comment section below. So, see you last, Misdirect. I'm out.